Keeping you close to the heart of your community. This is Morning Call with Catherine Fogarty on Tipp Midwest Radio.
We're working for you at your local credit union.
Morning Call is brought to you by your local credit union.
I'm delighted now to welcome our final guest of the programme, Davie Ryan. Good morning, Davie.
Good morning, Catherine. How are you?
Very good, thank you. So, Davie, you're a drummer with a band. It's a contemporary band called Onset.
That's right, yeah. We're kind of a new contemporary Irish traditional music band, yeah. So we kind of do a mix of instrumental music and songs.
I think one of your members, Tara Byrne, who plays the fiddle, used to play with the Chieftains.
She currently plays with the Chieftains, yeah. She's been playing with them for the last good few years, yeah. So she's very sad, yesterday when she heard the news, like, obviously.
Yes.
Because she would have been on tour with Paddy for the last good few years, yeah. So
he seemed to have been an incredible dynamo of a man.
Oh, unbelievable! Like, I mean, sure, what he's done for Irish music is just incomprehensible, really. Like, he's really put it on the map, like, didn't he? Worldwide, like, it's amazing.
Yes, and the artistry, the skill, the talent, the performance, the joy. He always just seemed to be the happiest man, and he was willing to work and try a lot of different collaborations, so it's very interesting. Just to get back to Onset, the full lineup, it's Graham Henderson on keyboard, yourself, Davie Ryan on drums, Pádraig Rinn on concertina and electronics, Tara Byrne on fiddle, Niall McCabe on vocals and acoustic guitar, and Adam Taylor on bass guitar.
Yeah, that's it. That's right, yeah. That's the full lineup, yeah.
So you're just going to start on a small Irish tour now. It must be wonderful to get back playing before a live audience.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to it now. So our first gig is actually Saturday night in Thurles in the Source.
Brilliant.
And it'll be one of our first, it's our first gig as this group. We've been rehearsing a good bit, but it's our first actual gig together as this group of musicians. So we're really looking forward to it. And in a way, it's kind of, it's one of our first kind of big concerts, for any of us really since the pandemic. So. So it's a big deal for us as well, getting back out there,
Yes, and I think audiences delighted to have an option of going to concerts and buying tickets. The band is called Onset. Any particular story behind the name?
There's no massive story behind the name of the group, really. We just kind of, myself and Pádraig and Graham set it up. That's the concertina player and the keyboard player. We play with a larger ensemble as well called Atlantic Arc. That's Donald Lunny's new outfit, and we just kind of connected it ourselves as well, and we wanted to do a smaller nucleus of a band, and we kind of wanted it to be kind of the start of something new. So that's just kind of like Onset kind of came from that, like the idea that the music is kind of contemporary, traditional, and is kind of like a unique kind of fresh sound that's kind of a new sound, and we thought kind of Onset was a good name, like, to kind of represent something new starting,
So that's ONSET, and your website is onset.ie if people would like to learn more about the group. So the concert, as you said, Saturday night you're playing a concert in the Source in Thurles, but then in Ennis you're there on the 29th of October, at Manor Hamilton the 5th of November, Bray on the 6th of November, and the Triskel Arts Centre in Cork on Sunday the 12th of December. So that's nice to get around the country, and it's wonderful, I think, for the public as well to have choices to go to live concerts again.
It's really great I think everyone's excited to get out, and see music again. We've kind of been starved of it, and especially in this country, like, it's such a focal point for people, I think, in this country, and I think people in Ireland really missed it, like,
yes. So you're the drummer in the band?
I'm the drummer in the band, yeah.
Big job?
It is, yeah. You kind of, I like it in the back, down the back where no one really looks at me, so it's grand. But you kind of hold it all together back there,
Oh, you're going to start a fight now.
Well, that's the way it is.
And you're from Boherlahan here in Tipperary?
I am, yeah. I grew up in Boherlahan, and I went to primary school in Boherlahan, and I went to secondary school in Cashel. And I started playing music when I was like 14, 15 around, and I played all over Tipp. Like, kind of at that age group, I played with a couple of guys in Thurles in a band called, it was one of the first bands I ever played with, and it was called Sonar, and that was with 3 guys from Thurles. And then we had various bands in Cashel growing up as well. the whole way through school. And then
how would your musical interests have started? Did you join something like Cultus or music lessons in school or family influence?
We had a great principal in Boherlahan National School called Paul Byrne, who plays in the Monks in Thurles every Wednesday. And he's done it for 20 years, and he plays traditional Irish music, and he got us all playing in primary school.
Yep, fantastic.
Everyone had to play something, and whether it be tin whistle or whatever. And I was always tapping on desks and stuff, so he handed me a bodhrán, and that was the start of it really for me. So I just kind of really got into percussion from that stage. And then my dad as well was a traditional Irish musician as well, so that was always in the house, So that was kind of how I started. And then when I was kind of in primary school, I did all that thing and did the score and the borsty and all those competitions. And then basically, I got a drum kit at the age of 14 then, and then I just kind of got really into rock music and did that whole thing. And then after a while I got into jazz, and then and then I just kind of really, it was the only thing I was kind of interested in, so I just kind of followed it through and kind of
brilliant
for a living now. So,
but it just shows you the influence of a teacher and the opportunity to have an instrument. It makes a difference.
Oh, it's huge. Yeah, if you can have access to an instrument at a young age, it makes the world of difference, and someone to kind of lead you on a bit and instill it in you a bit, and that's why things like Music Generation and stuff, these new schemes are really good for, I think they're really important for kids who otherwise wouldn't, have access to that kind of thing.
Yes,
I think they're great.
A great organisation to support. They're up to, I think it's up to 18-year-olds they'll support with music experiences and lessons. Have you seen Paul Byrne lately? Will he be coming to the gig?
I don't know if he's coming to the gig, but I actually saw him. I was up in Tipp myself, just visiting home a couple of weeks back, and it happened to be a Wednesday night. And I decided I'd tear into the Monks to see where they playing, just for the crack. And they were indeed, and I went in and I was chatting to him for a good while. Yeah, it was great to see him. I hadn't seen him in years, so it was brilliant to see him.
I hope the listeners won't be able to recognise the people in this story, but a businessman in Thurles stopped me on the street one day to tell me that I had seen a footage where he had attended a funeral, and afterwards they had a person who had played at the Monks, I think, and afterwards there was a photograph of some of them playing some music, and this businessman, who I only knew was a businessman, was photographed with his mandolin, and I didn't know that he played the mandolin. And he told me, I stopped him on the street just to say, it's a whole new side to your personality that I didn't know about. So he was telling me that one time somebody had come to him with some concerns. They'd seen the lights on in his office very late at night, and they were worried that he had some difficulties or financial difficulties, or he was just working too hard. And he had to explain to the man that the reason the offices are on late until 11 o'clock on Wednesday night is because my son comes in and a man comes up from Waterford to teach the two of us how to play the bodhrán. So it was a totally innocent experience. So, but there is a great musical tradition, I think, in Thurles. There's a lot of bands, great bands and artists around performing, and they put on a wonderful Feile Beag concert just recently. Again, huge talent and a huge musical infrastructure there, and we have a Music Generation in Thurles as well. It's terrific.
Yeah, I heard Paul was telling me about that Feile Beag thing. I didn't know about it, but he was telling me about it that Wednesday night when I met him, and it sounds like a great thing, the more of that the better,
Yep, they have a terrific talent and a great people blending together. The Source Arts Centre is a great hub and venue as well, and Star Systems have a huge amount of technology in town as well, so putting it all together. It's just a pity we haven't been able to have a big Feile this year in the stadium, but hopefully that will be something that will come back in the future.
Hopefully that will come back. Yeah, I can't see why it wouldn't be back next year,
Yes, hopefully that will happen.
Sure. To
find a promoter that will do a good job for us. So the music that you perform on Saturday night, is it all original or a blend or covers?
Yeah, no, it's all original music, yeah. So some of the 3 of the tracks that are ones that myself, Graham and Padraig wrote over lockdown remotely, and then we have 4 tracks from Padraig has an album that was out in 2019 that myself and Graham played on, and we're doing 4 tracks from that. They're all his tunes, and then we're doing 7 original songs by Niall McCabe as well, who I've played with Niall for nearly 15 years now in different lineup, completely. But we're doing 4 of his tracks as well, which are all new songs, and they're kind of in the folk kind of traditional side of things, So all original music, yeah.
Very good. So that's the concert will take place. It's starting, I think, at 8 o'clock in the Source Arts Centre.
Yeah. Doors are at 7:30 and we're on stage at 8. Yeah.
Very good. So as you said, it's original music and it's a blend of instrumental and vocal and songs?
Yeah, exactly, yeah, half and half. Yeah, all kind of contemporary, traditional, I suppose, kind of folk element to it as well, yeah.
Very good. It's an interesting time, to see you as a contemporary band with a traditional music influence. I think the death of Paddy Maloney is a tragic, a sad event yesterday because he was such a dynamo in the music business. But as you said, the tradition goes on and will continue to evolve in Ireland. Absolutely, yeah. I think the more, I think it's good to do, kind of bring it in a new direction as well and do something that hasn't been done yet. And, and that's nice too. And that's what he did all his life. So, he was constantly innovative in what he was doing, So I think it's good to kind of keep that kind of attitude towards it and bring it on a bit, Yes, and Ireland we have such a fabulous range of artists and performers, and there's such a rich tradition with the instruments in Ireland and the standard of playing and performance. And as you said, it's primary schools and Cultus and all of these groups that people start off at as children. It really is important to give people that opportunity. Music Generation, another new programme that's available for young people. So it's a terrific thing. So Davie, best of luck. I'm just going to have to play an ad break and then I can squeeze in another small piece of Invictus, that track you gave me. That name Invictus, any particular reason for naming the track Invictus?
Yeah, it's from a famous poem that was written by William Ernest Henley. And it was Nelson Mandela used to quote it a lot, and that's where kind of the main idea came from. So I think the piece it's about unconquerable and being undefeated, that kind of thing. And I think the track kind of starts off quite solemn, you know what I mean, and really builds to a big thing at the end. And I think that was the kind of idea, and that's where it came from, you know what I mean.
Davie, I'll fit in a minute of an ad and 2 minutes of the song. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
And best of luck on Saturday night.
All right, thanks very much.
And the rest of the tour. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was Davie Ryan joining us from Cork, where he's based now. We'll just take a quick break and then we'll have a small piece of Invictus before we finish today's programme.
The Source Arts Centre Thurles present Onset. The new contemporary traditional Irish supergroup Onset take to the stage at the Source Arts Centre Thurles on Saturday the 16th of October. Featuring well-known Irish musicians Niall McCabe, Padraig Grinn, Tara Breen, Graham Henderson, Adam Taylor and Tipperary's own Davie Ryan on drums. Tickets now on sale at thesourceartscentre.ie or call 0504 90204. That's Onset at the Source Arts Centre Thurles on Saturday the 16th of October.
I'm sorry to have to fade that out, but that was Invictus, that track by the band Onset. I wasn't aware the advertisement was for Onset as well. Their concert is on Saturday night in the Source. But it just shows you, a primary school teacher, Paul Byrne, well done to you for bringing music into that school in Boherlahan and giving all those children the opportunity to do it.